Scanning for audio.
Welcome to a Tin Dog podcast. Now, this is recorded live. Well, obviously everything's recorded live, that's the whole point. In my garden. Well, I'm sitting on the back step and it's May and the sun's fighting its way to get through the clouds that are pretending that it's not quite May, and that's fine. What isn't fine, however, is that I've already recorded this podcast and the next one back to back about 3 weeks ago. And then the file didn't, well, you don't need to know. Basically, I'm going to have to re-record these again. Reviews of what became the Manaq Madness box set. Originally, I'd set out to do two. One covering the Spearhead from Space, and the other one covering the other one, Terror of the Autons. It was all a perfectly polite and nice thing. Except, of course, it didn't happen that way. And then Alyssa Sladen died, and then the season started, And I had a couple of other things to record. So rather than record the whole thing all over again, here's my review of both discs as it appears in Starburst magazine.
What is a Nestine?
A Nestine is a ruthlessly aggressive, intelligent alien life form.
The Nestines can put life into anything made of plastic.
Creatures made of affection. Destroy. Total destruction.
I came to warn you. An old acquaintance has arrived on this planet.
Who the heck are you?
I am usually referred to as the Master.
Death is always more frightening when it strikes invisibly.
Can these mannequins actually move?
We shall activate them all tonight.
A wave of sudden deaths all over the home counties.
Cause? Asphyxiation, heart failure, shock.
Doctor!
Miss Grant?
Get down, man!
Excuse me, officer, could I see your warrant card?
Get out there, all of you! Keep your shoulders back! Bullets can't stop them!
Time has come for our final move.
They're Autons!
Hello, Doctor, is that you?
Who is this? What do you want?
Simply to say goodbye, Doctor.
Last month brought us the end of the Third Doctor's era in the form of Planet of the Spiders. While this month brings us a box containing the very first story, this box could have been called Regenerations 2.5, as it not only holds a DVD we probably already own, but it deals with two 70s reboots of our beloved show. The first story, Spearhead from Space, is the benchmark of post-regeneration stories. The parallels with the 8th Doctor movies and the 11th Hour are as plain as the nose in the Third Doctor's face. While we're engrossed in learning about our latest Doctor, some sneaky aliens have invaded the home counties, no surprise there then, and had the audacity to place an order for some plastic dolls. You do realise that if the Autons came today, they'd go to China. Moving on. Obviously, with evil intent, our hero has to come to terms with his new self and a new place, stuck on Earth, while defeating the squelchy box full of cling film and hair gel. Oh, and not to forget, introducing us to a new companion. Due to industrial action, the entire story was shot on film, giving it a quality and uniformity not seen for many, many years. And as such, it has a cinematic look and a feel that story so richly deserves. The basic plot of an invasion which unit must stop and, well, let's face it, it's echoed and reworked for the next 4 years. But here, it's in its purest form. The Brig's also on top form, practical, lacking in humour that became his trademark through later years. The second story, Terror of the Autons, marks the arrival of the so-called Doctors Moriarty, the Master, played here by the magnificent Roger Delgado, as well as seeing the arrival of the lovely Jo Grant, played, of course, by Katie Manning. Unlike the first story, this was shot more traditional way, making increasing use of CSO, and then promptly lost by the BBC. We now have a superb repair job from the NTSC copy. Viewed side by side, it's clear to see that the Third Doctor's time could have looked so much better, though we should be grateful we can see them at all. In both of these stories, the monster is secondary to the establishment of new characters, and it's a testament to the superb writing that it's never overly apparent. The Autons are an ideal any monster, with simple costumes that wouldn't stretch any budget. As always, it's the extras that give these stories added value, and this box set does not let you down. The original commentary with actors Caroline John and the late Nick Courtney are augmented with new commentaries from producer Derek Sherwin and script-making guy, Terence Dix. There's a superb down-to-earth documentary called Down to Earth, and then there's Regenerations dealing with the changeover from black and white to colour. And of course, there is the usual stuff, PDFs, photo galleries, and our lovely, lovely, lovely info text at the bottom. Terror of the Autons is a single commentary by Katie Manning and Nicholas Courtney, and producer Barry Letts. Its making-of documentary, Life on Earth, takes a different tack from the usual, with a look beyond the basic facts and looking at the larger picture. It's secondary to the wonderful short called The Doctor's Moriarty, which looks at the Master as played by Delgado. There's another one, Plastic Fantastic, which surprisingly looks at plastic. Yeah. Now, you could be forgiven for thinking that you've been tricked into buying Spearhead for the second time in order to own Terror. And if you feel that way, consider hanging on until it's reduced. Given that you'll probably be paying less for this double pack than you did on the original release for Speared from Space, you can kind of justify it to yourself. Basically, that's it. That's the review. I now return you to your proper reviews of proper brand new Doctor Who. And I think it's time to go in. It may start raining at any moment. Be seeing you.
Urgent subspace communication incoming.
Just a quick note to say that I'm selling one of my most prized possessions, a handmade, solid silver police box pendant. There was only ever a handful of these made, and I'm selling this one with some regret. If you'd like to see this or indeed buy it, then please visit the Tin Dog website at www.tin-dog.co.uk and click on the banner on the right hand side. Remember that you can also buy a Whostrology, as well as donate to help keep the Tin Dog podcast running. Thanks for listening. Be seeing you.
The other mind has now left the Matrix.
You have been listening to the Tin Dog podcast. Doctor Who and its associated shows are all trademark of the BBC. No infringement is intended. Contact us at tin-dog@hotmail.co.uk.